What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today I want to show you how I incorporate chickens into my food forest. Alright, so there's the obvious reasons of having chickens on a homestead or food forest, one of which would be, of course, for some kind of consumption, whether that be eggs or meat. Personally, I have them more readily for egg production, although say I've had some troublesome hens or roosters, bullies, stuff like that, or maybe kind of defects or things that aren't too favorable. In those cases, I've eaten them. It's not until recently that I've started letting them hatch a little more, given the climate of how things are right now. You guys may have heard rumors of food scarcities. So yeah, I know we've heard this for the past couple years, which in the past couple years, I've actually been letting a few more hatch here and there. So you guys will see in a minute if you haven't seen my goat/chicken pen. It's about 1,000 square feet. And I would say the prime number of chickens in there, for me personally, and just for the function of my urban garden, homestead, whatever you want to call it. For me, 10 was a really good number. Right now, I think I'm up to like 12, and then I have some chicks that have hatched. So I personally will be probably consuming a few of the birds and or possibly selling. But I kind of have them on standby in case you know what hits the fan in the upcoming months. So yeah, my main thing is egg production, but I did want to touch base on some other really positive functions of having chickens in general. I took some footage on my cell phone earlier just because the sun's going down, they're starting to roost up. On the perimeter of the pen, I used horse fence, and there's about a 3-inch gap on that. So basically what's been happening is as the chicks hatch, I basically let them free range the entire yard up until they're too big to fit through that, which is perfect because I find that once they're too big to fit through there, they would do a lot more damage with seedlings and other things. I'll show you guys around a little bit. You'll see that a lot of my mulch is kind of stirred up, but they're at a smaller size and they're actually getting a lot of the pests and stuff. So it's kind of a give and take. It's like, yes, I don't like my mulch being turned up and stuff, but at the same time, they're getting rid of a lot of pests in the height of the summer here, in which we do have quite a few pests. The other great thing is they're getting optimum nutrition when they need it the most while they're growing, so that's definitely a positive. And as for all the adult chickens, I've clipped their wings. I don't actually have to do it too often because they find security in the pen, and there's a little bit of canopy here and there, and they have the goat shack that they can hide under, so they actually like being huddled together, and they're not exactly huddled, but they like being safe. And I've had actually some dogs get in through holes in the fence and stuff, and they've been completely safe confined in that area. I had one literally yesterday who got smart and flew out, and she immediately wanted to go back in for the comfort with her companions. Really, as far as clipping the wings, I do that while they're young, into adulthood, and maybe only keep up with it like once every 4 to 6 months. But yeah, I'll give you guys, I'll show you around, show you some visuals about what I'm referring to, and then I'll touch base on some other benefits too. So yeah, here's the rough setup if you guys haven't seen it, but this is that horse fence I was talking about. And now that I'm looking at it, I might I might call that 2, possibly 2.5 inches. Regardless though, chickens can squeeze through quite a bit, and this is actually just like the perfect diameter for them to free range, go in and out as they please while they're younger. Once they get a little older, we call it quits. And so I've kind of brushed it back into place, but this is kind of what happens with the mulch. And this is actually the excess hay mixed with manure that I mulch everything with. I also do chop and drop and stuff, but this is kind of my go-to, and I take whatever's available. Right now, it's a majority of the hay and manure. Some of my chop and drop, say the Mexican sunflower, hasn't quite fully recovered from the frost, but it's still awesome that I got some growing back and I was able to transplant a bunch around. So even though I literally cleaned this up earlier today, you'll see that my wasteful goats, I don't give them too much crap because this system actually works pretty well. But yeah, the goats being wasteful drop a lot of hay here, and it slowly migrates out throughout the entire pen. The sticks are kind of part of that. When I don't have a chip or anything, but I just kind of pile up sticks here and the goats kind of trample it down, and eventually that gets kind of broken down too. It's kind of cool. But that's a little different than the concept that I'm getting into. But you can even see that there's goat manure here, chicken manure within this, but it gets kicked around. I also just mowed the lawn yesterday, and everything that I dropped in there is already being spread around. So we have nitrogen and carbon all being kicked around and basically composting in place. It's not a hot compost, but I do sweep this up about once every week or so and spread it throughout the garden. I also put my chicken scraps there every morning, and I just dump them in there. Goats take what they want, chickens take what they want. I literally have like no food scraps to compost because they're almost immediately eaten and kind of broken down and kicked around by the chickens in a matter of, weeks. All right, so another concept I wanted to add that I've been kind of looking into is incorporating a chicken tractor. I do not have a whole lot of lawn left at this point, so I'm kind of trying to weigh out whether it'll be worth it or not. But the other factor may be a chicken run in which you're making tunnels throughout the yard. That's something I might want to look into too. But I would like to get the ladies on a little more pasture. Another factor is behind my property, there's about, I'd say 25, 30 feet out of grass and different weeds and stuff before it hits train tracks. That's something I was looking into, but there are a lot of dogs and stuff, and even coyote. And also I've seen some eagles around. So from a predatory standpoint, I'd have to be a little careful with that. And also to build a kind of temporary perimeter in that area, I may have to have a hot fence to do so. So I'm kind of balancing out different things. You guys let me know in the comments if anything I'm talking about is ringing a bell, or you want to add a little more information and enlighten me more about what I could possibly do. So yeah, a majority of the benefit is, everyone has a different way of doing it. I guess the chicken tractor thing would be better pest maintenance, and they're also dropping manure throughout the day, which is pretty cool. But I guess it's just getting creative with what you have. And so for me, that's going to be a majority of it is just going to be composting and using a nice rich kind of mulch to spread throughout everything and fertilize everything. Of course, the other thing I touched on was the egg production, which is pretty awesome. All right, guys, well, I'm going to keep this video short and sweet. I have had people in the past wanting me to touch base on my chickens a little more. I have done plenty of videos on my goats, but yeah, it's a nice functional aspect of what I'm doing here. All right, so be sure to drop comments if you have any questions or you'd like to add anything else to this video. And if you haven't subscribed by now, consider doing so. I have lots of videos on both the livestock and also the food forest aspect and grafting and all sorts of things. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.